Alright everybody, welcome back to the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier number 6. This is the third round. This is a matchup between Team 0 on the Radiant side versus Anal Riders, who I'm just going to call AR for now, on the Dire side. AR from the Czech Republic. Meanwhile, Team 0, the German superstars, of course featuring players like Hiroki, Alex, Black, Theta. Very, very strong team. I have never heard of Team AR, but they wear their Chag proudly apparently. Meanwhile, Team 0, of course, you guys should know these players very well. Kuroki, of course, a Dota 1 legend. Looks like he's taking Dota 2 very seriously now, has matured a lot. And if you haven't read that interview, you can check it out on Ghost of Gamers or Reddit. He just did an interview very recently, seemed very mature. And looks like he's very committed to Team 0. Black, of course, qualified with no talent in the second or third Thor Fragbite Open Qualifier, but then left the team, so Eternal Envy, S4, and Admiral Bulldog joined up with Loda and Aki, and their team is going to the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier. But Black was the centerpiece of that team, at least in my opinion, farming so insanely well, it wasn't even funny. But looks like Team 0 has first pick again. They're going to bat the Wisp. They've done this in their last game as well. Apparently they don't like facing him. Meanwhile, AR immediately responds with a bat art ban, so we'll see if Rubik is going to be the next one to follow, as AR will see if they take a page out of the last ban. No, they decided to ban TA, so Undying is in the pool, Bounty Hunter is in the pool, and Team 0 pick up the Bounty Hunter yet again. Meanwhile, AR picks up Magnus. These picks are going by in a flash. They pick up Jakiro as well, so they already have a solid portion of their team fight right underway. Team 0 might be a little bit puzzled, but keep in mind there's still strong heroes left in the pool. There's still Darkseer, but they already have their offlaner in the form of Bounty Hunter, and AR just to secure themselves. They don't even need to pick up Darkseer. Magnus could offlane with the help of Skewer and Shockwave, or he could be in the mid lane position, get a little bit of help from Jakiro from time to time, but with Shockwave he should be okay. Magnus is such a strong hero right now. Skewer, that 1200 range buff made it so much more easy to initiate. Shadow Shaman Keeper Light going to be picked up by 0. They picked up their 2 supports that they like to do right off the bat. So very similar lineup by Team 0 thus far. We'll see what AR decides to respond with. They could pick up the Darkseer. Darkseer probably the most banned hero in this patch at the moment. They could have picked up something like the Undying. Very, very strong mid-game hero. Very strong in team fights. Just very, very difficult to bring down. But there are a lot of nukes on the side of the Radiant, as looks like Theta disconnected. We'll see if he can reconnect back into the game. But AR taking finally a little bit of time, as these picks and bans have been flying through in a flash. They're gonna think long and hard. We'll see in this next pick whether Magnus is gonna be in the offlane position or the mid solo position, as he's probably gonna either pick up a mid lane hero or an offlane hero with this next pick. Or they could pick up another support, maybe pick up their main carry to solidify the tri-lane, but most likely they're going to pick up their mid lane or off lane hero so that 0 will not start banning out these heroes instead. But Team 0 used this Bounty Hunter, Keep the Light, Shadow Shaman. Of course they had Magnus in the last game, so a bit unfortunate for them that they could not get him again. They probably clearly practiced that strategy, but Kuroki, Keeper of the Light, probably going to see that again. Kuroki used to play hard carry all the time back in Dota 1, and they are going to face that Darkseer pickup by AR. So Darkseer is going to be in the offlane, Magnus is going to be in the mid lane, and looks like 0 is going to ban out the Sven. They really don't want to face that Darkseer Magnus Sven combination. Vacuum, of course, sucks everybody in place for the reverse polarity, which keeps them in place. Ice Path, Macro Pirate, and with the strength of the insane amount of cleave damage that could come in from an empowered God's Strength Sven, it would be too ridiculous for Team 0 to face, so they decided to ban out Sven. Smart ban. But they know who they're facing in the mid lane right now, and there is one support on the tri-lane up top. So AR, they're probably going to pick up maybe a jungle hero, probably another hero to help solidify their tri-lane, maybe a hero like a roamer, and pick up their main carry. Meanwhile, Team 0 banning out pretty strong teamfight carries that do a lot of cleave damage that can synergize quite well with the Magnus. Decide to ban out Disruptor as well. Kinetic Field can help set Darkseer up for a huge vacuum and just completely decimate the side of 0. And of course, Disruptor, pretty potent hero in a tri-lane, definitely cannot be underestimated. Meanwhile, AR decides to ban out heroes that worked well with Keeper of the Light, and they decided to ban out Undying as well as Tidehunter. I don't think Zero would have picked up Tidehunter. They more like to go for much more frequent engagements. Tidehunter, very long cooldown on his ultimate. Definitely cannot be underestimated, but I don't think Team Zero would have picked it up. They're going to pick up Queen of Pain instead. So Queen of Pain will be in the mid-solo position up against Magnus, and that remains to be seen. What hero Black will play? Will he play the Dragon Knight once again? Worked very well with the Keeper of the Light. Did not even need the Keeper of the Light for the most part, but very, very adeptly in terms of shutting down the Darkseer. Meanwhile, Pugna is going to be picked up by AR. I love it. As Void's going to be picked up by Team Zero. Chronosphere, one of the best ways to stop a huge team fight lineup. As Gyrocopter is going to be the 5th and final pickup by AR. This is going to be an insane game. How are they going to lane this? I guess they're going to have to do Pugna mid-solo with roaming Gyro, Magnus, Jakiro top. Because I can't really see Pugna being an effective hero to support a tri-lane. But this is very, very unusual. Gyrocopter has been receiving a lot of attention recently. Rocket Barrage, of course, does so much damage early on, it's not even funny. Does have the potential to carry very, very hard in the late stages of the game with the Flak Cannon. His homing missile, of course, still a joke, but he has pretty high base move speed. And all of these heroes, Pugna, 320 base move speed, going to be pretty difficult to kill. But the real question is, how are they going to lane this? I think what makes the most sense is Pugna in the mid lane. But Queen of Pain should probably not die in any scenario in the mid lane position. Queen of Pain, probably one of the best mid solos in the game, just because she can survive up against any mid lane hero. Problem is, Queen of Pain, she does need a decent amount of items and experience in order to make a huge impact. But hopefully the Zero team can make that happen. They have Black playing the Void. We'll go over the players and teams on the side of Team Zero, the German All-Stars. Kuroki playing the Keeper of the Light yet again. Fade Up playing the Queen of Pain. RMN is going to be playing that Shao Shaman. I guess that's Alex. I'm not too sure RMN's real name. It might be Alex. Black is going to be playing that Faceless Void. And Pos is going to once again be playing that Bounty Hunter. Meanwhile, on the side of the Dire, looks like Alcor is playing the Darkseer. Snowball being Babe playing the Pugna. Igor XT playing the Twin Head Dragon, Jakiro, and Bailey, MN playing the Magnus, and Pimpo is playing the Gyrocopter. So we're going to see a Pugna Gyrocopter, Twin Head Dragon tri-lane. You know, completely standard. We see this every game. This lineup, I guess what they're going to do with this tri-lane is just push as hard as possible, take down probably 2 towers very, very quickly. Rocket Barrage can help clear out the quick play very, very fast. Liquid Fire, once it gets a couple points into that, will help slow down the tower's attack speed. Nether Blast, of course, dealing damage to towers and creeps cannot be underestimated. So, they're going to just try to push as fast as possible. That's the only point I see in this try. Pugna won't get too much experience. Pugna, of course, a hero, very, very squishy, but very, very powerful in the right hands. That, in other words, will just do an insane amount of damage to heroes like Keeper of the Light, Illuminate, pretty high mana cost, Queen of Pain. All her spells require a decent amount of mana. Shao Shaman, all of his spells require a decent amount of mana. Even Void might just get zapped by that Chronosphere, and considering the amount of times Gondar or Bounty Hunter will be casting that track, he's going to be using a decent amount of mana as well, so that Netherworld will just be having a field day. But Queen of Pain should just blink in and try to kill that Netherworld in these team fights. You can see already going to town on this Magnus, keeping him harassed, keeping him very, very far back. But Magnus is going to go for that extremely fast bottle build. Everybody seems to be going these 3 tangos, or the set of tangos, 3 Ironwood branches these days. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter just staying in the creep camp, completely blocking it off. Centroid going to be placed against the Bounty Hunter. Looks like Pugna going to have to scare the Bounty Hunter back, going to hit the Bounty Hunter knowing that he's there, and we'll see if Pos can get out of trouble. He does get out of trouble. Nether Blast whiffs. Pugna has pretty high base mana pool and pretty high base mana regen 1.0, but has the ingrowth of 4.0 per level, so should be okay. As another ward being dropped, Gyrocopter is gonna cast the homing missile. It will just whiff because it doesn't hit invisible targets, but eventually just back in sight of that sentry ward. But considering both the sentry wards have been dropped, Bounty Hunter should be able to calculate the distance and should be able to pick up some experience. Now just going to stay very far back to the left, and he should be okay. Going to clear it up as well, so he always has enough mana for that windwalk. We'll see if the Dire have any more sentry wards. They do not. Twin Head Dragon Jakiro has a Smoke of Deceit. Might go for an early gank. Magnus trying to clear creeps. Does not even have the gold for his bottle just yet. Is going to have that gold very, very soon, but Queen of Pain having a field day in this mid lane at the moment. beating the Magnus by 8 CS so early on definitely cannot be underestimated, but the bottle is on its way to Magnus, and Magnus all he really needs is to get levels. He doesn't need too many items, already a solid initiator. You know, Darkseer want to be too threatened against this lane, unlike the Dragon Knight Shadow Shaman lane, because those stuns would just keep Darkseer locked in place, but really they can only rely on maybe a lucky bash and the Shadow Shaman getting in position for that shackle. Meanwhile, bottle has been delivered to the Magnus. Gonna use that shockwave freely as 1 point to skewer just to help him escape out of trouble if he really needs to. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter getting some experience, not the best. As the creeps are being pulled, looks like they're not stacking up too effectively. Pugna has just hit level 2. Maybe they're gonna wait for level 3 Pugna and 1 level Liquid Fire before they start going for the push. But I imagine Team AR will just try to get the push going as soon as possible when they can. Pugna, Jakiro, very, very adept at pushing towers, and definitely cannot be underestimated. As Pugna gonna venture back into position, gonna find Pos. Pos might just be in the thin of things with that Sentry Ward, gonna be casting Dual Breath. Here comes a miss. Pos just now casting that Shadow Walk as another blast gonna fly back in. Homing Missile is gonna whiff unless they're already hit. As Gyro did a decent amount of damage, Pos is gonna have to be pretty careful, has to wait a little bit longer to get that Shadow Walk cooldown, but it's gonna hit level 3 very, very soon. As long as Bounty Hunter just gets level 6, he'll be fine. Get that track gold going, get that track gold flowing, doesn't even need farm, just needs to farm heroes. And right now Queen of Pain is just doing such a solid job on the mid lane, just completely forcing Magnus back out of the lane. Beating Magnus in terms of experience and farm, gonna be picking him her boots or a magic wand very, very soon. And this Queen of Pain should have a field day as she hunts down squishy heroes like the Pugna, and Gyrocopter, who's pretty squishy as well. Gyrocopter getting 2 points in a Rocket Barrage for that increased damage, getting 1 point to Flat Cannon to help push and help farm a bit faster. Getting 1 point to Homing Missile just for the, for the off chance that I'll get that stun off on the hero before they run 10 miles away. Homing Missile is such an interesting spell. It's very, very odd. Meanwhile, Black probably going to go for the Hand of Mice again, try to get that in 5.5 minutes. Can't farm as easily with the Dragon Knight, because Dragon Knight does have an AoE nuke in that Breathe Fire spell. But Queen of Pain going to venture back to the mid lane. But I think Void can put the Hand of Mice to use a little bit better. Does benefit from that increased attack speed with the Time Lock. Going to pick up 3 points in Time Lock, just to hopefully get that increased bash chance up. And it's not going to be doing any escaping at the moment. Void, of course, very high base damage with that Coiling Blade. Will just have a field day farming it up. Meanwhile, Kuroki continuously pulling creeps on the mid lane, stacking up a huge camp. Man, I didn't even notice that he did this before, but this is very similar to something like a Darkseer Smoke jungle back when it still worked, or a Batrider Firefly jungle, just going to keep stacking those camps. As Void picks up a kill on the Darkseer. Sorry, I missed that, as the Shackle, the Hex were enough to kill Darkseer. And Meow Bounty Hunter going to be in a lot of trouble on the top lane. Looks like the Dual Breath going to fly back in. Pugna is trying to run for his life. Completely out of mana. Cannot turn around, cast another blast. Going to salve up. And Pugna should be okay, but Pos is going to go in, trying to cancel the salve at the very least. Might not be worth all this effort by Pos, but he's going to keep going in. But that kill on Darkseer, very, very important. Going to allow Black to pick up his finished Hand of Mice, get his experience going, get his gold going through the roof. And this is what Black loves, everybody. He just dreams about this day and night. Meanwhile, Magnus just has a ward, has a bottle, continuously bottle currying it up. As the 6-minute rune has spawned, looks like Pos gonna roam very, very close to the camp, trying to steal some experience. Being a bit greedy, but these constant pulls are definitely sapping away his experience, so trying to get whatever experience is possible. But now only has enough mana for 1 Shadow Walk. We'll have enough for 2 if he just waits a little bit longer. As long as he doesn't break this Shadow Walk, he will have enough mana to cast his next one. So he'll continuously be safe. Gyrocopter just going to farm it up. This lane is not going to be used for pushing, so Pugna is going to be very experienced and gold starved early on. Pugna does need items in order to stay alive and be very effective. Does want to continuously stay in the thick of things with that Nether Blast. You don't really want to drop just a ward. Of course, if you just drop the ward as Pugna, you should be okay. But you really want to get that damage. Nether Blast, such a short cooldown. You can cast it multiple times in a single team fight. Definitely cannot underestimate it. but this Pugna going to be very gold and experience starved. But Gyrocopter, on the other hand, is getting a good amount of free farm, has 41 CS, not compared to Black's 43, as Xiaoshan's going to circle around. Looks like Darkseer is starting to realize that he's in a giant chokehold. Let's see if Armen can get the trap. Going to bait out the Surge, going to cast the Shackle at the very, very last instant. Vacuum going to be used. Pugna teleports to bottom lane. Not too sure what Pugna can do, as the Ether Shot going to be enough. And now Pugna's in a huge amount of trouble. Not enough mana for Black to cast another Time Walk, as Pugna's going to cast himself to Decrepify. One Time Walk does help secure the kill. I think Pugna might have gotten away if Black did not get that bash, but that's the power of having that max bash so early on. Meanwhile, Twin-Head Dragon and the Gyrocopter are going to be pushing very, very hard, but without the Pugna Nether Blast support, they really can't do too much damage to this tower. Can only just clear creeps and hopefully hope for the best. But Bounty Hunter has got to be very, very careful. Completely out of mana. Does not enough mana for Shadow Walk, so will be cooling down very, very shortly. Going to steal one last hit. We'll see if he goes back to base. No, just going to wait maybe a couple more seconds, get that mana for Shadow Walk, and try to reach a little bit more experience. Really wants to get level 6 before he goes back, so he can teleport in, get that track gold boost, and then just go to town.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Trying to scout the positioning of Magnetar. I guess that's what that Illuminate was for. But Magnetar did manage to pick up a haste rune, bottling up continuously. The top tower will fall for the rate. No, it's still falling at a very, very slow rate without the Pugna. And that allows Bounty Hunter to heal back up. Gonna get that level 6 going, has that track. And we'll see if he starts teleporting around trying to get those ganks going. Meanwhile, Illuminate being charged by Kuroki. They're going to try to save this tower, but it is going to take the fall. Gyrocopter does get the last hit. Missile not being casted on Kuroki. Kuroki probably just out of range. Keep in mind, Kuroki has not even farmed that big camp just yet. Maybe that'll be left for Black. Most likely will just be left for Kuroki and the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain gonna teleport to the top lane where Kuroki is waiting, chilling, and Illuminate. Gonna try to catch his Gyrocopter. Does a huge amount of damage to his Gyrocopter. Queen of Pain wants to go in. Can she go in? Phase boots and the base movement speed of Gyrocopter too much. Queen of Pain gonna waste a bit of time. But that means that Armen is gonna receive some time to farm up on the middle lane. Has boots and a bracer. Armen actually receiving a decent amount of gold early on. Have not even taken a tower just yet. Meanwhile, look at these camps continuously being stacked. There'll be a huge bounty later on. Probably they want Black to back up his Battle Fury to cleave down the waves, as Bounty Hunter did pick up the kill on the top lane. Ice Path not enough, as Pugna died yet again. And this missile will be killed for 25 gold. Kuroki constantly refueling his allies' mana. Queen of Pain does have almost full mana. Will he go back in, track him to cast it on the Twin-Head Dragon, revealing his positioning? They know complete where the Twin-Head Dragon is, but they're going to go back in for the Gyrocopter. Call down being used. Pos taking a huge amount of damage. Sonic Wave coming in. Decrepify, nice Decrepify by the Pugna to save the left of the Gyrocopter, but they can't get any return kills. Queen of Pain went back in, and she is going to pay for it with her life. Queen of Pain going a bit too aggressively. Nice response by the Pugna. Really helped save the life of that Gyrocopter, but Illuminate just constantly doing so much damage. Bounty Hunter trying to get in position, trying to get a big Janata hit off, but will be thwarted for now. Illuminate going to be casted again, constantly hurting down the HP pools of Pugna and Twin-Head Dragon, forcing them back. Look at Kuroki, not using Illuminate to just farm creeps, just using it to constantly hit heroes. That Illuminate does so much damage, especially against a squishy hero like Pugna, as the Netherward level 1 is going to be dropped. Might just be scouted out and killed, as Bounty Hunter going to go in from behind. Can you pick up a kill on Twin-Head Dragon? Sees you, Twin-Head Dragon. Going to get that Janata hit off. Going to get that track hit off. Reduce the armor, as Illuminate whiffs just barely, but Bounty Hunter and Kuroki are enough to pick up the kill, and now Pugna's out of mana. So we'll see if there's any response teleportations. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter has just been in the trees for such a long time. Teleports back safely to base. Meanwhile, Armen continuing to farm on the mid lane. Veda, after that death, gonna play a bit more conservatively. Magnus, in the meanwhile, picked up Arcane Boots so he can continuously spam. Not setting up for that fast blink dire rush. Don't know how I feel about that at the moment, as there might be a huge engagement. Illuminate! Just the tip was enough. That last horseman from the Keeper of the Light, enough to clean up the Pugna. Meanwhile, Veda, with the help of the Xiaoshan, were enough to kill Magnus in the middle lane. And here comes aggression by Zero, and Black is just having a field day. Those big creep camps for Black will just be so much gold, it won't even be funny. But this Keeper of the Light pick just shutting down AR completely. They really don't know what to do against this Illuminate as missile whiffs against invisible units. Meanwhile, this tower is going to take a bunch of damage. It will take the fall. First tower being picked up by Team Zero. Queen of Pain unfortunately mistimed the last hit, so did not get that extra boost, but more gold for everybody else. Meanwhile, Bounty continuously using track, more so for the scouting and the threat that Bounty might go back in, as Queen of Pain bottles a double damage rune. Darkseer gonna go for that very fast hood. Gonna leave Pugna to finish the mech, but it's gonna be a while before Pugna finishes any items. That Ion Shell continuously keeping Black back, but he's gonna cast a Chronosphere as his teleport in, or a blink in by the Queen of Pain. Can they do enough damage? They will. One last hit by Black. Black is dominating this early on. Gonna pick up his Battle Fury very, very soon. That Ion Shell just does so much damage, but he'll have his Battle Fury in about 400 more gold. Illuminate being channeled on the top lane. Hex is gonna be used. Here comes the Ether Shock. Shockwave gonna be used. Gonna hit. The Illuminate does hit the Gyrocopter, but it looks like Twin-Headed Dragon does take the fall. Poss gonna have to retreat out of there. That Netherward not yet enough to kill, but looks like Pugna did pick up the kill on the retreating Keeper of the Light. Sonic Wave gonna be used. We'll see if Fada can get out of there. She does get out of there, as it's gonna be a 3-for-1. Keeper of the Light bought back. Wanted to get back in the middle of this fight as soon as possible. The Homing Missile gonna fly in for this Queen of Pain, but I think it only is level 1 Homing Missile. It is. It won't be enough to kill this Queen of Pain, and she's gonna be just fine. Gyrocopter gonna go for a very, very fast BKB. Good choice, but not gonna be enough against the likes of Chronosphere in terms of shutting it down, but will help prevent the Hex from flying through. As Gyrocopter gonna get Serpent Ward and shackled, he's gonna take the fall. Oh man, looks like Armen just managed to get the wand or the Arcane Boots off. Arcane Boots off to get enough mana for that Ether Shock. Did clean up the kill, and Black is gonna have his Battle Fury in about 100 gold, and this is what you have nightmares about if you're an AR fan. As a Blinken, Screen of Pain, Shadow Strike on the Magnetar, but Magnetar able to TP out with the help of Skewer. Nice recognition by the Magnetar, as he knows Keeper of the Light was there to help pick up a kill. Not too many to cancel the teleport scroll if Shadow Shaman is not in the nearby vicinity. But Black is going to finish his Battle Fury just about now and has another huge batch of gold for his Animized to pick up relatively soon. So we'll see what AR decides to do as we look at the early experience and gold graph. Huge advantage in terms of gold and experience for the Radiant already. Over 5k on both sides. And it looks like the Radiant, they've only taken one tower, keep in mind, but they're just continuously keeping out the pressure. This Pugna just hit level 6. Gonna get that third point in Nether Blast, but still doesn't even have boots. Luckily, he does have 320 base move speed, so able to escape a bit more swiftly than other heroes. But I'm really not too sure if I like Pugna in a tri-lane support capacity, as he just needs experience too much. Queen of Pain did pick up a kill on the Pugna on that top lane in the jungle, and that Pugna is going to sleep tonight. Sleep with the fishes. As Black is going to go to town, mid tower going to use Chronosphere, going to catch Alcor. This huge amount of damage by Black early on. Looks like the Ice Path going to be enough, but Keeper of the Light, Illuminate going to drain the last bits of Darkseer's HP. Magnetar is going to skewer back in. Can he catch anybody as Void is going to go on the retreat? He's going to have that time walk to get out of there. Nice recognition by Black, as without the Darkseer they cannot chase Black too effectively. Going to cast the Homing Missile, but again, that Homing Missile takes so long. And looks like Keeper of the Light going to recall Black right back to him. Nice use of recall by Kuroki, just getting him back in the middle of the farm as soon as possible. Armen constantly weakening the creep wave with the Ether Shock, allowing Black to farm it so much more easily with that Battle Fury once he finally goes for it. We'll check out the items so far, as Fada going to go for a very fast BKB. And Pugna, he's trying to get the tower tonight. I don't know if he can, but here comes Reinforcements. Dust going to be used, but that missile hits so late, it's going to be enough. It won't be enough as... Man, that increased recovery damage was enough to pick up the kill. That missile takes so long to get going that's not even funny. They're going to get the tower tonight, preventing a decent amount of gold being picked up. Armen going to die, but nice teleports in by the side of AR. Going to catch Armen completely out of position. Going to pick up a for sure kill as Magnetar does pick up the last hit. Illuminate constantly giving a parting farewell for the side of Zero, but 2 kills and a tower deny. Nice recovery by AR, showing that they are still definitely in this game, but keep in mind Black is going to get stronger and stronger. But yeah, the squat BKB, keep in mind Magnetar reverse polarity does go through it, but that's the only thing that goes through it. And a lot of the damage on the dire side does come from magical damage. So BKB on Queen of Pain, very, very slow. It's not like Magnetar will just reverse polarity at Queen of Pain if she just dives in, because that reverse polarity, 100-second cooldown, gonna go on that Gyrocopter with the double damage, Netherward being casted, Shadow Strike being used on the Gyrocopter as well. Queen of Pain gonna continue the chase on the Gyrocopter, and that might be a bait for the Gyrocopter to go back in. Look at that Rocket Barrage do so much damage, ridiculous amount of damage, but that Sonic Wave was enough to clean up the kill. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter are going to be on the pursuit. They're going to run into a Kuroki as well. That Blinding Light not going to be enough as the reverse polarity did come in. Bounty Hunter are going to pick up the kill on Pugna. 1-for-1 Keeper of the Light for a Pugna, but keep in mind that track boost did give Bounty Hunter more gold in that exchange, so worth it for 0. All they lost was Kuroki. And meanwhile, on the bottom lane, looks like Black gonna duke it out against Alcor. Gonna be continuously bashed. We'll see if Black goes on the offensive as a teleport in by Magnus. Gonna be completely stuck in place with that Chronosphere. Black already used time out, gonna have to get the heck out of there. Shockwave not being backtracked as Skiro is gonna come in, but unfortunately just a bit too far away to get that slow off. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter is gonna come back in. Gonna see if we can get some tracks going, as the Dire continuously scouting out the positioning of Black with this Observer Ward. Black is so farmed. We'll see what item he goes for right now. I think they did clean up this camp over here, but there's still a giant amount of creeps right over there on that stacked camp. So that's just 500 to 1,000 gold just waiting to be picked up at any time. For whoever wants it, Keeper of the Light could illuminate it. Keeper of the Light pinging Black saying, go farm over there, buddy. That's all you, man. And tower being picked up by Black, more gold going into his pocket. Void, of course, one of the best late game heroes in the game, probably tied with PL in terms of how late the team goes. And the Serpent Wards weren't even used, so they're going to use it on this tower. Armman, what level is he? He is level 11, so level 2 Serpent Wards going to do immense damage. And meanwhile, here comes initiation by Armman. As Bounty Hunter, did he get the track off in Twin Air Dragon? Now he does, as Dust going to be used. Looks like Paz is going to take the fall. That Centuard scouting him out constantly. Pugna does pick up the last hit. Illuminate going to fly back in. Here comes Pugna. Dust of Appearance revealing constantly. Twin Air Dragon did take the fall, did have a track on him, so more bounty as Arman's going to get vacuumed back in. Here comes the Darks here. Wall of Illusion going to be used, as looks like Void going to be on the retreat. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain picks up an unstoppable streak. Finish the BKB. 2 for 2 in that exchange. Good recovery by AR. They're showing that they're still very much in this game, but they're going to have to be careful because this Queen of Pain is starting to become a huge problem. Now that she's going to pick up items such as Hex, or maybe even damage items, she's only going to become more and more powerful as this game goes on. But Gyrocopter and Magnetar did survive the struggle, so I think AR are pretty satisfied with that fight. They didn't even have to use reverse polarity. They picked up 2 kills. They picked up the Bounty Hunter, preventing some of his track from possibly picking up more kills and preventing a little bit more gold from his team. So AR, they're probably a bit content, but they did lose that tier 2 tower on the bottom lane. So I guess overall that fight did go in favor of Team Zero, but by not too much. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter just gonna hit some creeps, has picked up the drums, almost level 11, getting that reduced cooldown on the track. Here comes another Dust Appearance, they're really hurting down Paz, as Arman gonna be enough that Decrepify. They have no pursuit without the help of the Darkseer, and here comes Queen of Pain back into the fray. Illuminate gonna be channeled onto the Pugna, as Pugna's gonna have to get the heck out of there. One more Boykin by the Queen of Pain. Can she kill the Magnetar? Does get one last Scream of Pain back in, and now Alcor is on the retreat. Void is not anywhere close, but Queen of Pain gonna blink back in with that track move speed. One more hit. Oh, looks like Alcor is going to escape by the skin of his teeth. That missile going to fly in. Just dinks Queen of Pain for just a tiny pot shot. And I think Black did finally farm that huge stack of creeps. I think levels will really tell the tale. Void is level 17. 21 minutes in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Void is level 17. The highest level on the Dire is 12 on the Magnetar, who has Arcane Boots. This does not bode well, as Helm of the Dominator was picked up by Black and has another 3.7k gold in his pocket. We'll just look at the gold per minute. 650 on a Void. Very, 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 very strong farm by Black. definitely helped out by Kuroki and RMN from stacking those creep cans. So Black, of course, just proving his worth as one of the best carry players, one of the best farmers in Europe. And we'll see what item he decides to go for. Definitely can pick up any item he wants. We'll see if he goes for attack speed. Maybe something like a straight up butterfly in about 1600 gold will be enough to get the victory for Void. We'll see if he goes for something like a BKB. All he really has to worry about is our reverse polarity once he picks up the BKB. Gonna time walk back in, steal the Ancient some more. But this isn't no anti-mage farm. Time walk has a longer cooldown, so it cannot farm as fast like the anti-mage. As looks like Pugna has been completely scouted out. Chronosphere, it will be used, and Alcor is immediately going to die. One more hit by Void does pick up the kill. Reverse polarity going to be used. Looks like Fada does take the fall, but Magnus is going to have to get the heck out of there. One bash, two bashes. Ice Path does barely whiff on Void, positioning by Black. Too good. Shockwave, and Black is just going to town. Finally gets the heck out of there. 5.4k gold in the bank. Meanwhile, the rest of his teammates are just like, alright, we'll let this tower down for you. Get you even more gold, because, hey, you deserve it. You deserve the best. Meanwhile, Theta gonna blink back in. Bob back to get back into the thick of things. Faceless Void isn't even there for most of these team fights. And still, Team Zero are just on a rampage. Blink in very aggressively by the Queen of Pain, losing a lot of HP. Does pop the BKB, just going to be used to scare away the opposing heroes, but now her BKB is going to be down very, very low HP. And Team Zero is going to have to back the heck off. The Skewer, Blink Skewer combination does miss. Maybe a little bit of lag, going to be enough to prevent that. Illuminate going to be channeled. Armen does escape, and here comes Black. Chronosphere will be cooling down very rapidly. Finishes the full butterfly, and now he has finished farming. It's time to win. Man, Black is just the epitome of that comic in the European scene. I have finished farming, I would like to buy everything. And then just pick up an ultra kill as Fada gonna blink back in. And really, there's not too much AR can do. Reverse polarity is on cooldown. They might be able to defend this once they get reverse polarity up, but still 15 seconds. Looks like Team Zero gonna stick around a little bit longer. Magnus, if he does take the fall right here, it could be devastating as Dust of Appearance is gonna be used. They're trying to kill Fada. Nope, Pisces is going to go back in, and here comes the Chronosphere, going to lock everybody in place. Double kill, casual double kill, the most casual of double kills being picked up by Black. Here comes Reverse Polarity, three of them a follow-up damage, Ion Shell, Magnus combination just too good, but they have to wait another 110 seconds for that ultimate to cool back down. And in the meantime, I think Team Zero recognizes that they're going to pick up the next set of racks or even go for the Roshan. They're just going to all buy back, because they have money in the bank. 25k gold lead, 25 minutes in the game, 20k experience advantage, 25 minutes in the game. Check out some of the items. Vlad's finished, so Black has even more lifesteal. Vid booster being picked up by Keeper of the Light. Fada has not made too much item progression, has bought back a couple of times now. Meanwhile, Armen, where are you at? You're dead. That's where you're at. Using all his drum charges. They really just need that reverse polarity to cool down faster. That's the only way that the other team can come back. Xiao Shan just finished his Blink Dagger, so another source of initiation on the side of the Radiant. And AR, how many seconds before that reverse polarity? 40 seconds. We'll see if they have the glyph. Do they have the glyph? They can possibly turtle. I think they might be able to last long enough to get that Blink cooldown on the reverse polarity up, and then they could possibly win a team fight, but Aegis on Black might be a little bit too hard to overcome. One hit on Igor, not even using the Chronosphere, and we'll see if he goes back in. They really want to kill the Magnetar or the Darkseer. Gyrocopter picks up the BKB. He can stand in the middle of things a little bit more freely, but here comes the Time Lock Chronosphere. He's going to go for Darkseer, not even using his Chronosphere just yet, knowing that he has the Aegis, going to go in very aggressively, now going out on the Magnetar. Does Magnus have buyback? That is the real question. Magnus doesn't even have his ultimate just yet, and Lee's Bash is going to lock Magnus in place. Does buyback, but where's the follow-up damage going to come from? They need at least the Darkseer Ion Shell. Triple kill being picked up by Black, and this game looks all but over. This is all she wrote yet again, or all he wrote. As Team Zero gonna back in, Magnus unfortunately gonna get the screw back on the Queen of Pain, gonna use reverse polarity on one. I think they realize this game is over. Gonna use reverse polarity on just the Queen of Pain. I mean, Magnus has the potential to win a team fight nearly by himself, but he needs some other source of DPS. In the last engagement, they had the Ion Shell DPS to back him up, but in that engagement, Darkseer being dead really had no way to follow up that DPS, so just using Reverse Polarity on Boon and Pain, not going to be enough to win this team fight, and Black and his team going to secure a victory. Really, really strong play overall by everybody, as you can just look at the game stats. 12-1-4 on Black. Armen holding people in place with the Shackle, has no fear. Going to die to the eventual homing missile as he does take the fall, but he has done his job. Back, he's going to suck Black back in place. He might just actually die and lose his Aegis. No, he's going to steal so much life, bashing everybody left and right. A couple more hits. Oh my god. Oh, he still has Aegis, because, you know, why not? He's going to respawn. GG is being called by Pugna Snowball. And that is going to be the end of this game. Team Zero winning in overwhelming fashions in both of these games. Ultra Kill being picked up by Black, and 16-1-5. Theta 9-3-5. GG, well played, called by both sides, as Team AR are going to bow out of this qualifier, but they have 2 more chances to try to get to Stockholm soon. But looks like Team Zero gonna move back on the back of Black and Kuroki, as this is just, let's look at the ending GPM. Oh, you know, 900 GPM on a Void. I don't even know how you can do that. I guess track helped a lot. But Void is not like an anti-mage. Time Walk has too long of a cooldown, just keeping that GPM up. He's going to try to get it over 1k before he disconnects. I think that's what he's going to go for. Wants to see that in his stats. And Mag hasn't disconnected, so he's going to hit some creeps some more. Try to get that 1k GPM back up. Oh, no, he knows it's not enough time to get that 1k GPM. So, I'm going to end with 950 GPM on a Void, just because he can. And with 9k gold in the bank, he's going to go back in and kill this Jakiro. Jakiro, you are totally dead, bro. No, just gonna finish off the throne. No, gonna finish off the Jakiro. You're dead. Mag, you're dead too. Oh! You're dead, Black. But ends with 942 gold per minute. Nicely played by Team Zero, as they will win their first 2 games in overwhelming fashion, crushing both of their first 2 opponents. And we are going to move on to the next game of the Fragbite THOR Open Qualifier, number 6. I'm bballin. You can follow me on YouTube, bballin773, and on Twitch at bballin773. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.